Offender in custody. Okay, if anyone else follows my just let me know.
I want to know who the alternate perpetrators are. I want to know what the evidence was of the alternate perpetrator. I know Spicy Chicken Nugget made a comment earlier in the show about Bethany and the exculpatory evidence and how it was another male DNA. And this is what I've always thought, Spicy Chicken Nuggets. What could be, like, you can't say, no, that's not Brian Koberger, that was Jimmy Two-Tone. When it's that dark, you're not going to have a for sure, like, if you didn't see nobody, because remember, during the phone conversation that they were having, she didn't know. Well, I thought Xana was wearing all black. She didn't. But the exculpatory evidence, this is how you know that it's not Brian Koberger. In the middle of the night, pitch black, with barely any kind of light reflecting on somebody if they're walking outside or inside. The only way that you know that, because Dylan saw a man, I'm going to preface this. Dylan saw a man in the witness statement, right? How would Bethany Funk's witness statement be of her own unique, that is not like anybody else's? It means Bethany saw a girl. That's the only way that you can say that's not Brian Koberger, because Brian Koberger doesn't have long hair. And that's how you know that it could be your own experience than what the other roommates are, is because Dylan saw a man and Bethany saw a woman. I've just thought about it from what couple years ago when Betani's affidavit came out. They were trying to go down there to interview Bethany in the spring of 2023. And when I started digging into it, that's when I was like, the only option, it's them tiles. What option can be available to have that kind of statement and for a lawyer to come out and make that claim? The only thing it could be is that Bethany saw somebody with long hair and an upper figure. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure what
that would be the alternate perpetrator. The evidence would be Bethany's statement. I saw a female.
Because we know that the alternate perpetrator came from a tip. I think Ann Taylor said in one of the hearings that they were going through old tips, and that's what they. Yeah. But I mean, I suppose like that might not necessarily be it.
Well, think about what she said in the text messages. I know Xana was wearing black. Is Xana not a female?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point.
Not that she saw Xana, but she did say Xana was in black. You think about the Batanti affidavit, how her experience is only to her, not any of the other roommates. She saw a female walking outside when she looked out her bedroom window. That's why the vertical blind was stuck open, because that's where Bethany was looking out the vertical blind as the female was walking in front of her to leave.
I don't know. For some reason, I've always felt that exculpatory evidence is a different time.
What do you think it is?
I know in the PCA, they say that they derived the time for the crime from the movement of the car, the statement of Dylan, and
the text messages and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they leave out the statement of Bethany, her actual interviews, but they include Dylan's.
Yeah.
Which means that nothing that Bethany said contributed to the actual time.
It was actually a lie, because Bethany is the one that said that Xana and Ethan came home at 1:45 a.m. when they weren't home. They weren't home after 2 o'clock when everybody was upstairs and they came downstairs. They still weren't home. So Bethany's statement in the PCA is actually a lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
She's claiming they were home before they were even home, because after all these other court documents came out recently and we found out after 2 o'clock the girls were upstairs, everybody was, and they were trying to figure out if they wanted to get more DoorDash, or I mean not DoorDash, but if they wanted to get more food.
yeah.
And
And
Xana and Ethan weren't there yet.
Yeah, they,
That's a lot.
I mean, they said that they came shortly afterwards, but that's also like an interesting point. I mean, what's exculpatory, but then what's trustworthy as well? Like, I mean, if there's so many different stories, how do we even know if what her exculpatory evidence is anything at all? I guess that's as part of why she's being so evasive. It kind of makes you think that she definitely does know something.
Because she knows that if she has to go up and testify that not only that she saw Xana wearing black, because she said it in the text messages that have been released, I don't think she wants to go up and testify that she saw a female dressed in black walking away after everything took place. Because that's going to get Koberger off. Don't you think? Like, if you have a witness that gets on the stand and says, did you see a male leaving the crime, leaving the house after the crime took place? Did you see a male or did you see a female? I saw a female. Case closed.
Yeah, the whole thing. Because, I mean, it's as well with the alternative perpetrator stuff. I mean,
and that's the proof. Like, that's why I was like, alternate perpetrator. How do you have somebody else's DNA profile? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would like. How do you know? Like, do you have somebody's witness statement saying, yes, I was part of the crime? Well, then they would be, there's like, what could it be? The only evidence that the defense could have when it comes to an alternate perpetrator is Bethany's statement that there was a female that was leaving the scene of the crime after the crime took place. That's it. How can they, what other proof can they have? I don't get it. What other proof?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I did hear Brian Ensign say that he heard, I mean, I don't know what's trustworthy because, they say they've been burned before. He heard that there's two people in the submission document.
Yeah, this whole alternate perpetrator thing, it's like I'm telling you, like, my mind is like, and was back then 2 years ago, and I'm like, what could it be? And that's the only thing. And then you look at what she was saying in the text messages. You look at how all this stuff is coming out and playing out. What else could it be other than she saw a female leaving the house after the crime took place?
Well, the alternative suspect is forever going to be known as Jimmy Chito.
Okay.
And you put that in the document.
Somebody left me a comment on my Keith Morrison impression from the other night, and they're like, dude, that is SNL worthy. Keith Morrison. And then you started listening to Keith Morrison. Yes, we've been involved from the very beginning with sources close to the investigation. You get that kind of, whoa. Keith Morrison. Oh.
It was though. I mean, that voice though.
Bethany saw a girl. She did. Why would you not want to testify to make sure your friends got justice?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that is the question when it comes to her, and that sums it up. And I still find it ridiculous that the judge. I mean, I know that they technically are victims, but I just feel like that's the one criticism I have is like I do think that he has a blind spot when it comes to that. I just do.
Yeah. But I mean, you got a tattoo of him. The least you could do for him is show up, since you're one of the two witnesses. The least you could do is show up and and whatever your testimony is, because it's about the truth and justice for your friends. So even if you go up there on the stand and you say that you saw a female, it's helping your friends get truth and justice.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
do it. They're your
I mean,
friends.
it shows you
Got a
the
tattoo.
extent to which that people have forgotten that it's about them. Like with leaks and all of the chaos around it, it's like everybody's in it for something different, it seems.
It's just me. I wouldn't want any friends like that. I'll haunt you. I told you already. I'll haunt you. Because I know I ain't crossing over. Some shit happens like that, and you don't call 911 to get me some help. Shit. I know I ain't crossing over. I'll be miserable as hell. I'll be like, them son of a.
And that's hard work. It is. You have to like
I'd
haunt
be like
people.
this. Oh, I would be a soul filled with hate. You know what? I'm just being honest. Like, there'd be no crossing over.
Yeah.
Make them have a
Yes.
flat tire every day, Rosie. My ghost nail every day.
Every day. That's a bit
You
excessive.
just fall asleep. Ah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest.
Oh my goodness, that is gonna be merch. I want you. Yeah. With
Oh,
that.
I will pop your tire every day. I appreciate you guys.
You too. Thank you so much. Living in their eyes. This is getting way too creative now. Oh my goodness. All right. Hope everyone has a great day. What's left of the day. And I appreciate you all being here. And you too, CJ.
Thank you, Lucy.
Everyone.
Some lemon in her eye.